All right, class, let us talk about the pluralists. All right, so in our previous presentation, we talked about the material monists, who are part of the naturalist school. So now we're going to continue on to a study of the pluralists. So unlike the material monists, the pluralists argue that reality is comprised of several material substances, not just one. So remember, the material monists argue that in the beginning there was one ultimate material substance that gave rise to the world. The pluralists are going to argue that no, there was actually in the beginning several material substances. So the philosopher Empedocles, for example, argued that the world is comprised of four essential substances: earth, air, water, and fire. And Empedocles further argued that these substances are governed by the cosmic forces of love, which binds together, and strife, which tears apart. So when Empedocles looks out into the world, he basically sees these forces of love and strife bringing together and tearing apart these four essential substances which give rise to life. Another couple of pluralists, Leucippus and Democritus, argue that reality is comprised of several tiny substances called atoms. And these atoms, meaning uncuttable, are for people like Leucippus and Democritus the indivisible building blocks of all natural things. And contemporary scientists are actually quite amazed, at the insight of people like Leucippus and Democritus in terms of devising or coming up with this theory of atoms in the ancient world, as elementary as it might be. And another pluralist named Anaxagoras argued that there doesn't exist one material substance, four material substances. Rather, he argues that there is an infinite number of substances that exist in the universe, all of which are governed by a cosmic force called Nous, which in Greek is mind. And here we have a quote regarding the nature of Anaxagoras' concept of Nous. So he writes, "For Nous is the finest of all things and the purest, and has all knowledge concerning all things and the greatest power. And over everything that has soul, large or small, Nous rules." So Nous is this kind of supreme being or higher intelligence that has power over all things, has knowledge of all things, and brings things into order in the cosmos. So in conclusion, unlike material monists, pluralists argue that reality is comprised of several essential substances. However, the pluralists disagreed as to the nature and number of these essential substances. So again, Empedocles said there were four. Leucippus and Democritus argued that there was some large number of different types of atoms that animated the world. And of course, Anaxagoras argues that there's an infinite number of ultimate substances. And in the writings of Empedocles and Anaxagoras, we also find theories on cosmic forces, such as the concepts of love and strife, and Anaxagoras' concept of the supreme intelligence, Nous.